In this video, I will discuss the contributions of Peter Stuyvesant to the Dutch settlement in New Netherlands. 7 men governed New Netherlands under Dutch rule during the 17th century, but none were as impressive as Peter Stuyvesant. Stuyvesant was Director General of the colony of New Netherlands for 17 years, from 1647 to 1664. While working for the Dutch West India Company, Stuyvesant led an attack on St. Martin in the Caribbean, an island that is still presently split in ownership between the French and the Dutch. Stuyvesant lost his leg while fighting against the Spanish for possession of the island. His leg was crushed by a stone ball probably fired as a projectile shot from a cannon from a Spanish fort. The Dutch attack on the Spanish settlement was later abandoned. Stuyvesant's leg was later amputated. Remember that in the 17th century there was not very good medical technology. In an amputation, the patient would be wide awake without any pain medication. He would be held down as the doctors cut the flesh with a razor or incising knife. Many times the patient died during the procedure or even shortly after the infection. Stuyvesant tried to return to help the Dutch conquer areas in the Caribbean, but pain after the amputation wouldn't stop. Doctors had told Stuyvesant that his stump would not heal in the warm climate, but rather its infection would get worse. It was this peg leg that Stuyvesant was most known for. He took the wooden peg and had it embroidered with silver bands. Needing to leave the Caribbean, Stuyvesant was sent to be Director General of New Netherlands in 1647 to try to reverse the economic disaster that former Director General William Kieft had caused by engaging in war with the Indians. Remember, the Dutch concern with New Netherlands was still primarily economic, but Stuyvesant had to try to govern a diverse population of Dutch, French, Swedish, and English citizens over an expansive area stretching from modern-day New York City to Albany. Among his reforms, Stuyvesant created conflict with many of the settlers. One of his first reforms upon arriving in 1647 was to close all the bars at 9 o'clock and impose strong penalties for Sunday drinking and night fighting. He also created the Rattle Watch, the first of the New York City police, to pursue, attack, and capture criminals. Stuyvesant also fought with colonists over imposts and taxes, political participation, administration of justice, and land purchases from Indians. He practically did everything in his power to ensure that the company and the settlement was profitable. In the words of Russell Shorto, Stuyvesant assumed that what was good for the company was good for the colony. In some ways, his actions reflected his beliefs more than anything else. The Dutch West India Company was notoriously tolerant of different religions. In fact, the company had to find a variety of ways to attract settlers to the region. It was especially hard to do so because of the growing wealth in the Netherlands. Nobody wanted to leave for the wilderness, the New World. Therefore, the company attracted individuals throughout Europe by promoting religious tolerance. However, Stuyvesant wasn't as religiously tolerant and fought with religious dissenters such as the Quakers and the Jews. In one instance, he ordered the public torture of a Quaker preacher. The Dutch were basically behind the English in making the settlements organized and similar to the homeland. The Dutch West India Company was only initially concerned with making money, so building a community was not a concern, but soon it became clear that a settlement was necessary in order to make more profit. In 1652, the Dutch West India Company, from pressure from the States General, directed Stuyvesant to erect a court of justice after the custom of Amsterdam. So, the colony began to build a settlement similar to the homeland, but the Dutch settlement soon came to an end. In March 1664, Colonel Richard Nicolls, a commander of the British Navy fleet, anchored a flagship at Gravesend Bay. When Stuyvesant sent a messenger to ask their intentions, Nicolls simply responded that, "In His Majesty's name I do demand the town, situated upon the island commonly known as the name of Manhattoes, with all the fort thereunto belonging." Stuyvesant was angered and responded with information about the Dutch claims, but Nicolls didn't respond in writing, but told the messenger that his fleet would approach New Amsterdam in 48 hours. The fort was very weakened at this point, with few food supplies and fewer ammunition. Quickly, the majority of officials and citizens accepted the inevitable, but Stuyvesant was reluctant and was luckily convinced by others to give in to a bloodless surrender. And so it was that Peter Stuyvesant reluctantly oversaw the quick surrender of the Dutch colony in New Netherlands to the British. And without a shot fired, the colony was renamed New York.